I have a really hard time believing that Dwight Stahl did this figure.
Crispy.
So by now, we're all aware of the shakeup Hasbro did. You can see this one right here is 55 employees were let go of the Rhode Island facility, and then you have 170, I think, total employees from Hasbro. And unfortunately, Dave Vonner was one of those guys who was let go, which, man, I was shocked to hear that. Dave actually mentioned it on his Facebook, and he got a lot of support. You know, a lot of people wished him well. I mean, he's just an all-around good dude. You know, it's really sad when you hear something like this. I mean, especially, you know, a person we're a huge fan of. I mean, we've gotten to talk with this guy at the conventions, and, you know, outside of that, I mean, all around just a really cool guy. And his talents are going to be missed from the Marvel standpoint. I mean, honestly, I mean, I understand, you know, why Hasbro does what they do. I mean, you know, with the layoffs, it's part of the business. It's going to happen. But to lose a talent like that, that's going to hurt in the long run, I personally think. Now, they're going to be okay for like a year or so, maybe two. I mean, they have the blueprints set. I mean, basically they're going to inherit all his work that he's done. And he's going to, well, Hasbro is still going to produce those figures. But what happens after that? You know, after his work has, you know, run out. You know, they only have those prints for so long. And then are we going to go back to having those lame, you know, basic characters? I mean, look at the work he's done with even the help with the legends. I mean, these legends are far better than what they've ever been before from Hasbro when they first started. I mean, this is a total 180. And you know, some of those characters were, you know, his choice. Armin Zola, we know that, and possibly the Wrecking Crew. I mean, I have a hard time believing that Dwight Stahl came up with those. I mean, so we'll get into that a little later on. But, you know, it's just a huge, huge loss in my opinion. But, you know, where does this go from here? Personally, I don't know. I think after the year or so, I'm gonna probably drop Marvel Universe. I mean, because, like I said, Dave was the guy that got me into this. I mean, when I first met up with him in, I think, 2008, you know, we talked, you know, comics and stuff, and, you know, he's not just a guy that just worked for Hasbro. I mean, he was actually a comic book fan, and that's what you like to hear. And, you know, when I first saw those Universe, man, that was it. I remember the very first one he showed on that panel was that X-Force Wolverine, and I was blown away. And so, you know, I just can't see myself supporting the line, you know, after this. I mean, I'll probably continue with the work that he's done, and then after that, you know, probably drop it. Alright, so this is my first figure from the Wave 2 Armin Zola. We got Daken, aka Dark Wolverine. Now, I got this from ToysRUs.com along with a couple others. So this should be in the mail here pretty soon, but, you know, it's a nice figure. I'm not going to complain at all. Now, I know it's probably the masked version will be the hard one to find, because all I've seen is this version from everybody. But it seems like Toys R Us is getting just the other ones. But their shipping is kind of suspect. The card was all bent up. You know, it's all wrinkled. I mean, if I was a mock collector, I'd be mad, but, you know, I'm not, you know, in any way. I'm going to open this guy up, but still, it's just, they should take care of their stuff. I mean, this is a toy company, you know, that's their thing. But other than that, the figure itself is really nice looking. The claws could be a little suspect. I don't know, I have to still pop them open and see what happens. But, of course, you know, the whole thing is, you know, we're going to try to find another one, pop off the claws, and, of course, do the same thing with the masked version, if you can find this thing. But another thing I like about this packaging is you see the Build-A-Figure part is clearly right there. So in case. I'm pretty sure somebody will do it, you know, pop these things out and take it back in, but it'd be a little harder. I mean, you could actually justify that. I mean, look, you can see that there's a spot for that, and if there was any debate, I mean, you take it in there and just bitch at them. Be like, look, you guys, look what you guys are doing. But clearly a nice set. This is actually, I believe, even not, you know, having the whole set, Hasbro's best wave. You know, clearly nice characters. You know, it looks really, really clean. So I'll crack this guy open. Got some late breaking news. A man from the League of Villains came by, dropped off a few more figures for me. We made a deal, traded out some figures here and there. He just wanted the Build-A-Figure part, and I'm going to keep the figures themselves. So I'm not mad at that at all, since this is such a wonderful wave. I can get Armanzola later on. I got some more figures coming in, but you got a second Daken figure. And if I would have known he was coming by with them, I would have kept one of these guys in box, but it's all good. Still need that part anyways. And this one I snipped the claws off. It's a very, very nicely done figure. You know, we've seen this mold used quite a few different times, especially with the Nova figure. And why does that Nova figure just suck so bad? This one actually came out really good. Not bad. My only complaints is his feet are kind of wobbly, and this hip joint right here was super, super tough. So I had to crack that thing open, but I like the mask look. But nice, nice figure all around. Claws actually came out pretty decent for the most part. So I'm happy with this figure. Here we got Bucky Cap, which is such a nice figure. He had an open one, and I got to mess around with it for a minute. Beautiful figure. Crack that guy open here in a minute. Then we got Madam Hydra, the Madams of Marvel, or Marvel's Madams. See, she's got the, I believe this is the variant. I mean, the way this line is going, is it's easier to find a variance than it is regular figures, because you see we got Madam Mask right there, and it looks like these ones are featured on the box, and the Dark Wolverine, or the Mask Daken. Then you got Thunderball right there. Of course, that hideous Spider-Man. So, I mean, it's weird too, because they don't even feature her name anywhere on the package. I mean, all you see is the Madams. But I'm looking around, there's nothing. So she's got the Red Skull piece. So, pretty nice figure. And we got Phantom X. Dope, dope, dope look. Really, really like this wave. I mean, honestly, even not having the whole set yet, this is probably Hasbro's best wave of figures. I mean, all these characters are so super obscured. I mean, besides, I would say Bucky Cap probably is the most, well, Spider-Man, I should say that. Spider-Man's the most well-known character, but he's essentially not even really important to the wave, because he doesn't have a Build-A-Figure part. But I mean, all these guys are super obscured. I mean, Thunderball and Pile Driver, that's the one for me, man. But, of course, we gotta crack these things open. Oh, we're not done with the late breaking news. Here we go, another package from this one, ToysRUs.com. We got the Drax figure, which they actually packaged a lot better this time around than the first time. That was garbage. But cool, cool. So this one's officially all mine, Build-A-Figure part and all that. And here we got Pile Driver. It's sick. I mean, when these were the guys I was after the most out of this wave, was the Wrecking Crew. Nice, nice, nice. Very, very nice. It's funny, when I ordered this on ToysRUs.com, it said Thunderbolts. And I kind of looked like, oh, I'm pretty sure they meant Thunderball. But of course, you know, this is a running chase. I don't technically think it's considered a variant. I think they are considered chase, just like that Wolverine. That one's a variant because he's got the unmask, and I don't know what you would call the Spider-Man one, if that'd be a true variant or not. But it's funny too, because like I said before on the packaging, they don't even say the name of the character. It just says Wrecking Crew. But yeah, these guys are badass. I can't wait to build the whole team. Alright, let's officially crack everything open. I was opening the damn box and I cut myself. And the only bad names we have in the house is Big bird. Nice. Rip. And we're not done again. Got a package. My boy Boog Nice hooked it up with another Bucky cap. That's what I needed. And the Build-A-Figure part. Like I said, I have already another cap. Actually, he's right here. But I needed that Build-A-Figure part. So it's always good to have two of these bad boys. I mean, let's see what we can come up with. And another quick update. So my wife actually ordered me 2 figures for my birthday. It's an early birthday present and whatnot, but it said Thunderball and Madam Hydra. This is from Amazon, so you never know what you're gonna get because those two are just running chases. So I don't know what this is. We will open this together, see what's up. Oh, you gotta have your blade on you. Let's see which ones we got. First one is another pile driver, of course. What were we thinking? And another Madam Hydra. What were we thinking? But you know what? Hey, that's still all good. They'll go on the wall, whatnot. Maybe I'll find a trade. But actually, I did need this one. I need to crack that open. I still need that part. Actually, my buddy, I think Joe found me one. Well, I don't know. I'll put him on the wall. So, still all good. Just another quick update. Was able to cop another Bucky cap. Thanks to the wife. This one I can finally leave on mock. I have 3 of these things now. So, Bucky cap will essentially probably be a peg warmer just because he's 2 per case. You know, but still, this is just an amazing figure. So, it's nice to have one mock, you know, leave on the wall. And then I just decided to throw the other pile driver up on the wall just because, you know, the wife did hook me up for a birthday gift, early birthday gift. But anyway, I can have him mock on the wall. It's just an awesome figure. I mean, these two side by side, that's the wave right there for me. And hopefully get another Phantom X soon. But and then this Madam Hydra, I'm not too sure what I'll do, if I'll leave it in box or pop it open just to get the bath part. You know, essentially I can build this version of Armanzola right now, but I kind of want the regular version. But you know, eventually we'll have to get like, damn, almost three of each figure just to make both of them. Bat form Hydra, Hasbro bat form. But then I was actually able to come across another Hope Summers mock, so I thought that was kind of cool. I can throw her up on the wall, and then just need to get Claw, and then the regular version of Steve Rogers, and then the blue version, and have a whole second wave, or mock I should say. I mean, right now without Claw I can almost build another Terrax, but I really want to build another one. So then I'll just, these two will be placeholders for right now until I can get the blue version to go underneath him, and then the regular version of Steve Rogers. I just can't get over how badass this Bucky cap figure is. I mean, this is something you don't really expect Hasbro to knock out the park, and they surely did. I mean, this figure is absolutely amazing. This one is at status where you think, you know, Marvel Legends, and he's right in there with anything that's come out to date. I mean, Toy Biz, you know, previous Hasbro. This is such a fantastic figure. I have a really hard time believing that Dwight Stahl did this figure. I mean, it just does not seem like his style. I mean, compared to the Steve Rogers, I mean, this figure is absolutely superior to it. I mean, that's just my opinion. It's just such a beautiful figure. I mean, the fun factor alone with this figure is just incredible. You know, I probably spent like a good half hour just messing around with him as soon as I got him out of package. You know, once again, shout out to Boog, man. You know, hooked me up with another one of these bad boys. So we can do the little fun factor here by swapping the head in and out. That's kind of cool. Finally have a use for that extra head. I mean, it's such a badass figure. I mean, look at the veins and the detail. That's amazing. And then something I really like is just look at the back muscles. I mean, that is just incredible. All the detail, the water canteen. Shield is kind of, you know, average, but still really shiny, nice. The T-joint is really cool. I actually really dig this. I mean, it's limited because of the holsters on them, but still effective. I would say the only complaint I have with the figures is it just seems like his bottom knee is really loose. You know, I'll probably tune that up a little bit, but other than that, I mean, that's just a manufactured thing. Nothing to do with the figure itself. It's got all the articulation you would want. Ankle pivot, swivel. I mean, it's got a wrist hinge. They even kept the star on. I mean, but all around, just such a nice ass figure. Great work by Hasbro. And we got Pile Driver here, who's just, man, amazing figure. Absolutely so cool. Really stoked that they decided to go with this team. He's like 1/4 of the wrecking crew. I mean, basically these guys are just funny ass characters. I mean, they're super powered goons. I mean, they're like hired help, but they're just so obscured, and it's just, they're just all around fun characters. I mean, these guys are all like super powerful and, you know, buffed out. Pile Driver he's got that weird, you know, grimace on his face, you know, that kind of creepy looking thing. I mean, he's the mainy one out of the group. You know, he's the one that's always out there. He's the oddball. It's just still, I'm just so stoked that they decided to go with this figure. The white paint, you know, you see with the blue wash, it's just incredible. It reminds me of, you know, the Toy Biz days back when they had the, who was his name, Captain Britain figure. That paint on that figure is absolutely amazing. All around really cool sculpt. They did an incredible job at this figure, I can't lie. So essentially here goes wave 2, minus 4 of the characters. Of course the BAF, I still haven't decided if I want to build that one yet, but I do have Future Foundation Spider-Man coming in this week, and probably by then I'll also have another Madam Hydra, so I'll probably build her then, or build the figure then, and maybe I can track down the other few I'm missing for this set to fully complete it. Now it seems like when people order from Hasbro Toy Shop, they got the Thunderball and also the Madam Mask, and then a few of these I've gotten here and there from, like I said, Toys R Us, Amazon, and Buddy Joe hooked me up from Toys R Us, and he got the, I guess, variants you can call them. But essentially this is an outstanding wave character standpoint, you know, all B and C list characters. I think the really only A list character would probably be Spider-Man. You know, you could probably put Bucky Cap in there, I'm not too sure. I still put him as a B list, but nonetheless this is an extraordinary wave. It brings high hopes to what Hasbro can do with Legends. You know, figures here and there you can nitpick about, like this is essentially how I have them in order. It's my favorites. You know, Pile Driver, Bucky Cap, Phantom X, Daken, Drax, and Madam Hydra. There's something about this face. I mean, I don't know why they changed it from Comic-Con. It's just so bad. And then Phantom X, I think, is just a beautifully done figure. The white paint that Hasbro uses seems to really pop. I mean, it's super clean, nice. Yeah, I am in agreement with everybody. The way he holds the gun is just ridiculous. He doesn't even shoot straight, and he does have extremely small feet, so at times it can be a pain in the ass to pose him. But other than that, like, Bucky Cap is probably the cleanest paint that I've really seen Hasbro do in a long time. And then just the fun factor alone of Pile Driver and the Wrecking Crew. So pretty much a really awesome wave. This is, I think, essentially a must-get wave, in my opinion. I mean, character selection-wise, articulation is great. So don't pass up on this wave. At any chance you can get them, pick them up. this was the second piece I had done by Lunkermouth, or aka Bob the Odd, we call him on Facebook there. I'll put the link to his channel in there, but again, he does fantastic work with the diorama piece. This is the lava pit. He had showcased before, and as soon as I seen it, man, I had to have one of these. I thought this thing was super clean. It just came out really nice looking. The lava, all the rock effects. It's like this kind of black, almost dark gray material. Just did an excellent all-around job with it. Really love the way they came out, man. Like I said, his prices are really cheap. He ships nice. Everything came out perfectly clean, so I'm gonna continue to go through this guy even more. So once again, big shout out. Alright guys, it's that time again. Redo. We're gonna do all Legends this week, since this has been essentially a really big week for my Legends collecting, getting wave 2. But we'll start off with Adam Warlock. Please redo this figure. I mean, you had something good going on, and then you totally messed it up with all this funky articulation. You know, the bend at the elbow, you know, it just rotates at the elbow, 2 end bends. You had no thigh swivel whatsoever. The bend at the knee, it was like, stop it already. You know, just redo this figure, bring out a whole new one. You can keep the glove is nice. Actually, what they should do is bring out an interchangeable part. That way you can always throw in and out that glove. But I don't know why they decided to go this route. Kind of hurts my feelings. Hasbro need to be held accountable for their actions. This figure is god awful. The paint scheme is just ridiculous. I mean, the articulation is there, but it just doesn't work with this figure wise. I mean, the paint alone is just an eyesore on this figure. I mean, the head sculpt is beyond whack. I mean, look at it. There's no detail whatsoever in his face, helmet. It's just a really bland figure. And this is one I definitely would like to see in the modern look. If you see the new MU one coming out, that figure is going to be a beast. And this figure is just going to sit here and just be in nobody's display. It's a terrible figure. Now, my man Slings a Web commented on one of my videos a while back and talked about an updated look for Magneto, which I totally agree with. There was always something about this Iron Man mold for Magneto I didn't really like. Now, essentially, it's a really good figure. I love the way the cape flows on him. He's got great articulation, removable helmet. It's just, I think it's time for an updated look. You know what I'm saying? He's much more slimmer character. He still has muscle definition, but I think with the Iron Man mold, he's just way too buff. But it's still a really nice figure, but it's just, like I said, it's just time for that updated look, I think. Now, hold on a second, guys. Hold on. Just relax. I actually really love this figure. Don't think it needs to be revised whatsoever. Nope, not by me at all. It's a beautiful figure, but how would you guys feel about using this same body mold for an Age of Apocalypse Build-A-Figure? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's essentially, you know, just disconnect all the parts and put them in smaller packaging. You know, I think it would really work. Now, I'm not one of those guys that complains about a Build-A-Figure not being, you know, 18 inches tall. You know, I do like the fact that it's still a Build-A-Figure, and you create a whole new character from collecting different, you know, other characters or other figures. But I think it'd be really nice to get an Age of Apocalypse. I mean, essentially, I think we should get a whole line dedicated to that. But that's just me being a fan and a comic nut. But that's how I feel. What do you guys feel about an Age of Apocalypse Build-A-Figure? Alright guys, thanks again for tuning in to Super Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a big 50 edition. You know, we're just going to keep going strong for hopefully another 50 more after that. Once again, big shout out to Dave Vonner for bringing us so many good figures over the years, and just the continued success for you on your journey back. You know, he's just a guy that's going to bounce back so fast. I mean, I'm not even really worried about it. You know, from his standpoint, you know, he's got a family to take care of, and he's going to do what he needs to. And just watch, you'll hear more good stuff from him. So essentially, If you guys didn't know, this was another one of his creations he came up with back in the days. And real quick story on that. I think I've said this before, but when Shartimus first met Dave Vonner, he was talking about this scorpion figure and how it didn't have a toy function. Shartimus was saying that to him, and Dave was like, yeah, it does. I designed that toy. And then they went back and forth, and Shartimus was like, no, you did. Hell, there is no toy function for it. And essentially, Dave was like, okay, man, all right, sure. And sure enough, it's got a toy function. But that was just one of those good moments from the con. I mean, that's something I'm truly going to miss, not seeing Dave there, especially this year. So essentially, this will be my last year going for a few years, and we'll just see how it goes. But once again, shout out to Dave and everybody else who lost their jobs in that shakedown by Hasbro, and hopefully all those guys will get back on their feet. All right, guys, peace.